You still come. You still got 2 minutes. Hold on. This is for me. See?
Spread out. You ready, Brian? Yeah. Call the meeting to order. Stand for pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the February 11th, 2014 meeting. Mr. Tyner, you're first on our agenda as always.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Congratulations, Mayor Tortorella.
Thank
Good
you.
evening, board members. I wanted to invite you all to a forum that I'm holding tomorrow evening, Wednesday night at 5:30 p.m., just across the way at Rhinebeck Town Hall. It's about the state budget. I'm just a county legislator, but County Executive Mark Molinaro is 100% correct when he talks about how unfair and crazy it is that 70% of the county budget is basically mandated programs, but the state and the federal government just are not paying their way. And unfortunately, that's one of the biggest, or maybe the biggest reason why our property taxes and sales taxes are so high. For too many years, state aid to cities, towns, and villages has been flatlining. And unfortunately, the governor has proposed more flatlining and more years of austerity. And two of the smartest guys in the state, biggest policy wonks in all of New York, are going to be just across the way. I really seriously urge you, if you can make it, to please join us. If you can, you'll be invited to sit on the panel. Ron Deutsch, who's the executive director of New Yorkers for Fiscal Fairness, his website is abetterchoiceforny.org. Fred Floss, who's the executive director of the Fiscal Policy Institute. You see these guys quoted all the time in the New York Times, in the Poughkeepsie Journal, in the media. They're actually coming to Rhinebeck, to Dutchess County, tomorrow night, 5:30 p.m. The forum is co-sponsored by Citizen Action, Hudson Valley Area Labor Federation, Community Voices Heard. Folks from the Working Families Party are going to be there. But I just don't, I'll feel like a failure, and it's a waste if there's just 10 of us talking to each other. So I'm trying to do what I can to get the word out. Please come, even if you don't disagree with it. Sounds like you might not agree with the message. Please come, because it's just going to be really sad and pathetic and lonely if there's not just a few of us there. So that's tomorrow night, 5:30 p.m. At Town Hall, just across the way. The New York State Alliance of Retired Americans, Statewide Senior Action Council in New York State Coalition for the Aging, Library Association in New York State, Interfaith Impact in New York State, Interfaith Alliance in New York State, MoveOn.org, practically every union in the state, Children's Defense Fund, Environmental Advocates in New York State, Alliance for Quality Education. That is a small list, that is a small portion of the groups that are part of something called the Better Choice Budget Coalition, saying, you could be putting more money, Mr. Cuomo, into counties like Dutchess, into villages like Rhinebeck. If he's proposing $800 million in estate tax cuts, that's a 40% cut in the estate tax, basically the bulk of which would go to the 200 wealthiest families in the state. As long as things like that are happening, we're going to have things like what's going to happen next month, which is the 3.75% county home fuel sales tax hike, which, put your hand up in the air and wave it around like you just don't care if you really want that. That's a $7.5 million hit on senior citizens and working families in Rhinebeck and Clinton and Dutchess County. So there are ways we can get revenue to avoid that home fuel sales tax hike, but we need people to sort of get a little bit informed. I got a resolution passed unanimously last month. It wasn't as strong as what I wanted. It was about smart meters. Central Hudson has shared with me that there's 120,000 of these ERTs that have been installed all over the Hudson Valley, Catskill region. They say that they're not smart meters, but they're ERTs, encoder receiver transmitters. Look it up on the internet. If it's a meter that's receiving signals and it's transmitting signals, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, that's a duck. And the World Health Organization has classified radio frequency, this stuff, radiation as a carcinogen. And so I was going to do a screening on the 25th of this month. The town board has to do a forum, a meeting that night, so we're putting it off till Tuesday, March 25th. So I'm thrilled that I got all the Republicans and Democrats in the county legislature to pass this resolution just a couple weeks ago saying, homeowners should not have to have these. But unfortunately, the resolution was not like the Ulster County resolution, which said this includes what's already being put on our homes at the rate of about an extra 4% per year. So I urge you to go to takebackyourpower.net, stopsmartmeters.org, stopsmartmetersny.org. Just a couple other things, I'll let you go. For a long time, some people in our county government have been trying to take away item pricing in our stores. There's a Stop and Shop right here in Rhinebeck. I am trying to make sure that if you go to a supermarket in Rhinebeck or anywhere in Dutchess County, you can see prices on the items. I'm afraid that 2014 may be the year this happens. Typically what's happened over the last couple of years, literally about 15 times over the last 18 months, this has been put on the agenda. Then I blast an email out to my list, and NYPIR gets involved, the unions get involved, and they pull it from the agenda. I'm afraid there's a new influx of legislators, and they're going to pass a law basically to repeal or change the current law so that people in the village of Rhinebeck, if they go to the Stop and Shop, no longer are there going to be prices mandated on the items. So freedom, whatever, the price of freedom is eternal vigilance. If you care about that and want to make sure that the supermarkets like Stop and Shop aren't going to lay people off, so because they won't need prices on the items, please work with me and lobby the county executive and the county legislature. The only other thing I was going to say is, you're probably aware of this, the Dutchess County Association of Supervisors and Mayors just on February 4th passed two very strong resolutions. One's against the power lines in my communities over there. The other one about the new capacity zone. And there's a 10% electric rate hike that's going to hit all of us in the Hudson Valley starting in May if we don't stop it. And thanks to the Dutchess County Association of Supervisors and Mayors unanimously passing that strong resolution at February 4th, I got a resolution passed on December 5th. But we need to get Sean Patrick Maloney and Chris Gibson and the PSC in Central Hudson and all the state legislators and elected at all level. We need to get a rally, press conference, forum, summit, something happening. Because if electeds at all levels, if we don't band together to seriously raise a ruckus about this, this new capacity zone is going to hit us, a 10% electric rate hike.
So, two questions about this. The first one has to do with what are they? What part of the price are they trying to raise? Is it the transmission cost or the generation cost that they want to raise? Do you know?
I do not know. What I do know is that Jürgen Weckerle, who's on the state committee, like the Atlantic chapter for the Sierra Club, right, has said that basically this is totally, completely superfluous, that if you look at four of the main power plants in the Hudson Valley, Bowline, Lovett, Danskammer, and Rosedon, they're barely producing anything right now because there's a de facto energy glut. This would be an extra $370 million coming out of our pockets every year, giving to these energy producers and to Indian Point, to Entergy, so they can create more power plants. Meanwhile, there's an energy glut. It's completely, totally, utterly, absolutely ridiculous. And everybody in the county legislature, we passed that resolution, but we need to make sure that Chris Gibson and Sean Patrick Maloney and all of us, because if the electeds at all levels aren't getting together at some big event and get the media to really report this, it's going to hit us. It's
okay, so you don't know.
I will try to find out,
yeah.
sir.
The second question has to do with the transmission line that they plan.
Yes, sir.
You do know that they also plan transmission lines under the Hudson. There's two 5-inch lines that they're putting down there. So
the
I
Hudson
don't know why
Champlain
we
Express.
need both of them.
I know.
The one is
Tell me something I don't know, sir. Yes.
Well, the one is being done by Champlain and Hudson Power Express project, which is sounds like it's getting pretty close to installation.
There's a guy named Ed Pell in the town of Clinton who knows much more about this than I do. He took a look at the Gold Book from the New York Independent System Operator and looks at the energy needs, and he sort of confirmed and verified that we don't really need the transmission line upgrade here in the Hudson Valley for Clinton, Milan, and Pleasant Valley and Columbia County. That it's maybe Yonkers that needs it, not us. Now, out of the four plans, even Ray Oberle, the Clinton town supervisor, and I agree, boundless energy is best. But look at the New York Independent System Operator Gold Book of summer of last year. They point out that we don't need the transmission upgrade. It's frankly what a lot of smart people are saying is because that Canadian energy and those Canadian jobs are going to the city as a sop, as a giveaway to the utility and the developers. Cuomo decided, oh well, we'll just do this. That's what some of the smart analysts have said, and that's not the best way to do things. I'll get back to you with the answers. Thank you for your patience. Congratulations, Mayor Tortorella. I got to run to Clinton. Thank you again.
Thank you, Joel. The next item on our agenda is a brief personnel update. You'll probably see some changes up here and in the office. We had a meeting on February 3rd after the resignation of Mayor Reardon, who's with us today in the audience. I was appointed mayor at that point, which runs through March 31st. There will be another appointment to fill out the second term, or the second year of the open term. Our village clerk, treasurer also resigned effective the 7th. As of Monday, yesterday, the 10th, Pat Kuhn, our deputy clerk, has been appointed the interim clerk, and the treasurer's position, or the treasurer portion of it, Chrissy Deneau, who is currently employed part-time in the office, she is our interim treasurer. We also appointed an interim building inspector. That is our current zoning enforcement officer, John Fenton. So that started immediately. He is covering the responsibilities of the building inspector. His hours will be the same as they are for the CEO, which is posted. I'd like to have a meeting on the 26th to go through those. That's the deadline for the application for the clerk treasurer.
I think there's a small claims court.
Well, we
could
can
use the-
meet downstairs, but
Yeah.
okay.
Well,
Because that's-
what about Thursday? Can we have like a day to digest it? I mean, if we get in some resumes that day, then.
Well, we already,
Yeah, I think
we got already 40.
Yeah, we got a lot of
submissions.
them. I think we'll have enough to work with on the 26th if we can make it. Good?
What time?
6 usually for those? You want to stick with 7?
6.
6? Okay. So 6 o'clock, we'll be meeting on the 26th to review the resumes. So with that said, I'm going to switch over to this other microphone over here. I want to call Mr. Reardon up here. We'll sit this here. So since you didn't have the opportunity to give a proper farewell on camera to our faithful watchers on Panda, we wanted to bring you up here and give you that chance. Thank you for your 8 years of service. 7? Well,
What's the
It
year?
would be 8 next year.
It wasn't his 8th year.
we need a reprint. Okay. So anyway, so we want to wish you, on behalf of the board and the village as a whole, we want to wish you the best of luck. Thank you for your service. Wish you good health and much success in your
Thanks,
new
Heath.
job. So
Appreciate it.
you can have it for now. We'll take it back
Okay.
for the reprint. So
I'll
the
give it back to
microphone-
Pat.
The microphone is yours.
Thanks, Heath. I guess the first thing I want to say is to the community, thank you for putting your trust in me for the last 7 years. It's been the most rewarding 7 years of my life. I gave a big speech last week at the Chamber of Commerce dinner, and I probably thanked about 147,000 people there, and I'm not going to bother going that long and thanking all of the people by name, but I just really appreciate everybody that's been part of this team that I tried to create. The fire department people certainly were part of that. And thank you to all of you guys, starting with this gentleman all the way down the table. I couldn't have done it alone. Like I said, I tried to create that team environment, and you guys certainly, and gals, have been a big part of that. And, we were successful because we all worked together. And, I thank you all for your support over the years, and I have an extreme amount of faith that you guys will carry on this tradition and face all the challenges that you need to face as a board and do what's best for the community. So I have mixed emotions, of course. This is the first time in over 20 years that I have not been involved somehow with an organization in a leadership role. And it hasn't really sunk in yet because I've been so busy with my new job, but I am going to leave here tonight for the first time when I get done speaking, and I'm going to go to a Sons of the American Legion meeting because it's an organization I feel very strongly about. I've never been able to attend their meetings because I was always here at village board meetings. So I'm just going to be there as an observer and a participant, not as an officer. So thank you again for all your support. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Jim.
With that, we'll move on to the department reports, starting with wastewater, Brian.
It's a little anticlimactic, but wastewater treated for January, 3.75 million gallons. Gallons of sludge processed, 38,150. Pounds of sludge processed, 6,189 pounds. We have finished the install of the new generator, the 100 kilowatt generator. This year we've done that. We've replaced the sludge press, which is a $500,000 item, and removed the underground storage tank and replaced it with an above ground tank. So did a few capital items this year. And I went through the budget, the preliminary numbers with Anthony Gasparini today, and I'll talk about that more later because I see there's a line on there for budget, but that's about it.
All right, Heinz, the water department?
We treated 11,488,000 gallons in January, this January. We also completed the installation of the annex to the water plant. And I requested a bid package to install variable frequency drives on our three main pumps in the water plant. We lost a hydrant on 6324 Mill Street through a hit and run accident, and we will repair that one as soon as the weather breaks. We have to get into the ground and dig it up. We started the budget process for the water department, and I think I'm going a little bit early with the electric power reduction initiatives. We have solar panels on here, as you know, and the solar panels don't give you much power in the winter, but nevertheless, we generated 1,030 kilowatt hours this month of January, and consumed about 5,600 kilowatt hours. Total savings was about $165 on that. I talked with Central Hudson. They were exchanging lamps for us, changing high pressure mercury lamps to sodium lamps. And they have done almost all of them. They did about 110 out of 115. And that was 2 weeks ago, so they may be done all by now. I wasn't able to get a hold of Peter Mulpeter, Mark Mulpeter. I wanted to talk about the audit, water department audit, and I'm going to have a meeting with Rich Olson here on Friday afternoon, and we're going to discuss this, and then I'm going to write up a letter for your signature. To send them back, and that is all I have for today.
All right, next is the fire department. So we'll start with the call numbers for January. EMS calls, there were 17 in the town, 18 in the village, for a total of 35. Fire calls were 15 in the town, 13 in the village, for a total of 28. Motor vehicle accidents, there were 6 in the town, 0 in the village, with a total of 6. So the monthly totals were combined 38 calls in the town, 31 calls in the village, and a grand total of 69. Yearly totals, calls in the town will be 140, the village 78, for a grand total of 198 calls. That'd be November 1st through January 31st. Also, we've been touching on the mutual aid calls. We had 1 mutual aid in January to Rhinecliff, 5 to Hillside, and 1 outside of the town in Red Hook. On a membership update, there are 46 active firefighters and 104 total members of the department. There was a special meeting held by the fire department membership in which the majority of the members voted to submit a letter to us as the village board requesting that we reconsider the confirmation of the second assistant chief. So I think you guys all have that, right? And that's all I have for the fire department. Street department, oh, one more thing, sorry. The fire department has taken over that shed outside the old cell building.
Right.
And they've decided to keep, I think, 1 or 2 sets of lockers that they're gonna mark in there, but everything else is kind of up for grabs within the village.
Our guys looked at it.
They did, they don't want
Anything,
anything?
no.
Okay, so there's all kinds of lockers, desks, some cabinets, I don't know if, I have the combination,
Would
if
they have to
anybody
go out to bid?
well, not if it goes to, the
Other
wastewater
departments.
department or the highway department, if somebody may be able to use that
Okay.
stuff in there. So we'd like to get it
You
cleaned
guys need
out.
power there? I mean,
Yeah.
do you have any idea?
There's power in there.
I know, but it's
Yeah, we're talking
pricey.
about, yeah.
It's just, if it's just gonna be used as a shed, we should just terminate the power.
Well, we figured out that it's being, we turned most of the
We
power
turned off the heat, which was the.
Yeah, the heat and the
which
air
was
conditioning.
The drain.
Okay.
So it should be about, if we don't turn it off, it'll be about $80 a month for the meter fee, and then whatever minimal lights or power they might draw out of it, so.
Still, if they don't need the lights.
Yeah, if they don't need it, we'll, that's to be determined, I guess. There's already been a request in months ago to shut it down. So Lisa had put that in a couple times, it hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
So who knows, they may show up and turn it off before we make a decision again. Street Department, Howie.
Okay, here's Mike Wolf's report. He says snow, 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 plowing and salting. Both backhoes have been rebuilt as far as the front ends, and this job was done in-house. And they also cleaned and painted the both backhoes. This was before the last snowstorm. The guys try to maintain the equipment during the winter inside. And he says truck 11 has worked out well, pulling the trailer and the Bobcat. We got a Bobcat last month, which is used for picking up the snow in the village and stump grinding and also cleaning the streets with a sweeper. And he also says they did do some stump grinding before the last snowstorm. I think they got to about 8 or 10 stumps,
That's good.
and it worked pretty well. The loader bucket works great on the Bobcat. And Mike also says we've started some tree trimming as the weather permits. And Mike would like to note that plowing the snow and salting is hard to do when cars are left on the street. So if there's gonna be a snowstorm, please take your car off the streets. At night, they're supposed to be off the streets from midnight till 6 o'clock, I believe it is. But also during the day, if you could take your cars off the streets, that would help. And pushing and leaving snow on the road has become the new practice here in Rhinebeck. Mike, that means that some people are pushing the snow onto the road after the plows have come by. And Mike notes that this is against the state law on a village code, which I can read the village code quick for you. No individual or entity of any kind shall deposit, throw, place, or strew, nor shall any individual or entity cause to be deposited, thrown, placed, or strewn any snow or ice upon any street, avenue, or roadway within the village of Rhinebeck. And then the next section, it says there's a fine of $250. So please don't push the snow back on the streets after the plows have come through. And as we speak right now, the downtown area is being cleaned of the snow banks, and we're expecting another storm in a couple days, so I guess we'll be doing this again next week about this time. That's it for the highway department. Any questions?
Yeah, Howie, I got an email from Mike about the garage doors at the fire department getting banged in and scratched up. Do you know anything about this?
I know the one down here was. last
Yeah,
year.
no, he said that on the south side of the building. I just looked there, and it looks like in the bottom of the door, there's marks in there. It looks like from a plow or something like that. There's about 3 of them.
I didn't check my email today, so.
This was on those doors there?
Yeah, the new ones out
Like
back.
brand new doors. It seemed to be way on the bottom of the.
On the bottom, because I
bottom.
couldn't
Right.
see where it was.
Who actually plows back here?
The village.
The village? So Mike's complaining about his own.
Yeah, they
Yeah, I
use,
don't-
they've been using the Bobcat back there. I've been watching.
Okay.
Work on it, so.
I thought maybe from the fire department. Okay, I'll talk to
No, the
Mike.
fire department doesn't.
He was upset about it when he came in and he asked for the email to go out, so.
Okay.
And he was with one of the guys that usually plows back here. He was with John, so they were concerned. So
Okay.
it is,
And I talked to Kevin about it as well, but if it's that low, it probably wasn't the bumper of a fire truck.
Well, they were like 6 inches off the ground,
Yeah.
from the ground up to 6 inches.
Do we have any update on the,
Hazard mitigation?
yeah, from FEMA on the dam over there?
Whatever is there, I have
We were
the same thing.
awarded, we can remediate till September of 2015.
Yeah, that's what this says.
So
Yeah,
we're gonna,
wait until spring.
when the weather
and
gets
move
better,
forward.
Howie was gonna get,
Well, I have to
get
get
3 bids. right?
3 bids, yeah.
Do you want this then, or do you have?
Yeah, I have one of those.
Oh, okay, good.
Maybe you can, we know a couple guys, but maybe if you know
Okay.
anybody else,
Okay.
we can talk about this. And we got you have the chips thing there too, yeah, I have that here.
So do we address that on the 3rd,
The 3rd?
at our last meeting?
What happens here is every year, the state gives the highway department money to fix the roads, and we're up to, we have a balance now of $84,320.94. We can use this to fix the roads, and there's a few roads that I know that are on my mind. Asher Road is being torn up pretty well, so that should be top priority. So we can also start getting some bids on different road areas that we want to.
Who's responsible for Montgomery up on the Hawks Bridge?
Well, right before Hogs Bridge, we are. The town line starts
At Hawks
right before Hogs
Pretty much
Bridge,
Hogs
yeah.
Right. So the village is responsible south of there?
Yes. We used CHIPS money last year to do South Parsonage Street,
Right.
from South Parsonage to Mill.
Yeah. Spent about $160,000, including,
Was that 160?
yeah, about 110 and 50 for the skid steer
Right, right,
from CHIPS money, right?
right, right. So I'll talk to Mike about, specific roads we want to get done this year.
Well, the reason I like to know is because we have an aggressive program to replace fire hydrants.
Well, that's what I want to talk to you about, too. Whenever we're doing a road, we should make sure that the water valves or the fire hydrants are all done.
That's why I would like to know, so we can prioritize
But
this.
if you, have you been up Asher Road lately? Asher Road goes up right across from the cemetery, goes up the hill,
Uh,
and it goes on to Huntington.
No, I don't
It's a
think so.
short street.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just
I don't
past
think
the-
we don't have any hydrants there.
But there's a
No, but
valve
there might
right
be
at the
some
base
water
of it.
valves
There's a
underneath.
valve
Yeah,
right at the
valve.
base, but.
There's some condos there, right on the right-hand side going up the hill,
Yeah.
I
so
don't know.
we should look into that.
Yeah, they put a temporary patch on that one
Yeah, but now
months
it's
ago, and it's
being
washed
torn.
out already.
Yeah, so, but Heinz, you and I should get together
Okay.
and before we do any road work, to make sure. We know that South Parsonage Street was pretty well fixed
Yeah,
up with
well,
water.
that's why I asked about Montgomery Street, because
Yeah.
we have 3 hydrants on Montgomery Street who date back to the 1890s or 1920s, in that time frame
Mhm.
that we want to replace this year. But I want to make sure we do it before you guys get
Okay,
going to the road.
okay.
We also have a letter from the DOT regarding the pedestrian bridge down there at the base of Asher Dam.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they're denying any responsibility for that.
That's
So,
usually what happens.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to make something happen there.
Okay.
If not temporarily, and, excuse me, I think we should, have someone look at it and put together a package to repair it, because it's gonna need some, we can look at it
Yeah, we
with
had-
Mike, and,
We had an engineer look at it
Yeah, he looked at it.
preliminary.
yeah, his recommendation was to was to contact the state, and they've denied anything to do with it. I talked to Pete Siberly, and he seems to believe that all those drains that are there have been in place since prior to his time, so
Okay.
they've been there a little bit. So we should move on that in this
Okay.
room.
Mhm.
I got one other thing that maybe goes under highway. We got a notification from the county about basically a form if we're gonna request speed limit changes in the village. Do we do that very often?
We haven't done that in a while, since I've been here.
Well, if we do,
Okay,
there's a new form
from the county.
from the county. The state makes the decision, but we have to file it through the county.
Okay. Very good.
All right, planning and zoning?
We got a letter from the planning board requesting a change in the code. I'll just read it. At the February 4th planning board meeting, a discussion was held regarding a final submission date of applications and information required. Section 12045 describes the last day for submissions as 6 days prior to the meeting. We have been requiring 7 days, and it is still not enough time to circulate to the board, other agencies, and review by the zoning enforcement officer. The planning board is requesting that the final submission date be moved to the Friday, 11 days prior to the meeting. So that would just be a zoning change in the code. There's a number of things that I've been tracking that these folks have been wanting to, change in our code, and, I can continue to work on this after my term expires. And I assume we can't just pass a resolution making this type of change. So we might as well have all our stuff.
Yeah, we have a number of changes.
We have a number of changes to be made, so I'm willing to work on that after I'm.
Do you want to post that and add that on the 25th? Can we do that?
Well, if there's a number of them to be done, I'd have to,
Okay.
Because it gets expensive to
We got a
read,
bunch
to
more.
print all the pages, change all the books and everything. and
We wanted to do them all together if we got it with the fairgrounds and,
There's more.
yeah, but I mean, on top of that, so we'll wait until they're all, we have the public hearing coming up on the 25th for those.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. On the 25th, we have the public hearing for the zoning district for the fairgrounds and the events code proposed. And Pat, do you know if the draft that we're gonna consider is up and posted now on the website, or?
I think it is.
I think it is, yeah, so.
I think so.
It's at 7 o'clock on the 25th.
So we'll have a
And we
separate
only-
hearing. You have a list of things that you want to have a separate hearing for?
Yeah,
before
but I
we
haven't
fix it?
even,
Okay,
yeah, it's gotta be written, and,
so we'll address that
Yeah.
next
and then
time.
we should probably set up a working group. Maybe I'll produce a draft and we'll have a working group go over it and stuff. It's gonna take a while. So.
Do we want to, I know we pushed this off last time, right? The request for the vacation buyout?
Is that a personnel matter?
We wanted to do that today.
Yeah, well, we got to vote on it, right?
Yeah.
Is that executive session? No?
it's a vote.
Okay.
All
I
right,
move
so-
that we approve Karen McFarland's proposed vacation buyout.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved.
That's all I have.
Okay. So we'll go on to the police department. You guys have any questions on the police reports that we have here?
No. Just, we talked about you and me working on the union contract together. Maybe you should get someone else involved, because I can, I don't have enough time to
Okay.
take it to fruition, so.
Okay. Any volunteers to the left or right to work on that one?
Howie?
Yeah, man, I'll think about it.
Oh, thanks. Thanks
Okay.
for the thoughts. Well, Pete did win the prize. He got his budget in already, so he's ahead of the game.
Yeah, I did.
We do have the patrol rifle policy. You guys y'all got a copy of it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve,
Do we have to do that?
Owen? No?
you have to adopt it to include it in the policy. Has it been circulated to the union yet? Did they sign off?
I don't know that. The union's got to sign off on the, okay, well, we'll hold off on that then.
So during the next union contract, or?
No, it's just it's a change in the personnel policy, so it's got to be run by the union. I don't know if it has been or not.
Okay.
That goes under personnel, because there's training involved in the use of it? Okay. So we will make sure the union signs off and hopefully approve it next time. And that was for the use of the patrol rifle, which they already have. They just have not been able to deploy because there's not a policy in place. Next, we have the dog report. There were a few dogs running at large. Some visitors didn't know about the leash law. Some dogs barking, no major problems. On to the committee reports. Howie, the tree commission?
Yeah, everybody got the tree commission minutes forwarded?
I actually didn't see it.
No?
No, I saw what you wanted to do with the, going out for,
Yeah, I didn't see the minutes either,
Oh,
but
okay.
I thought it was me. I didn't see
Okay.
it.
I know what happened. I was waiting for her to fix something on here, and I forgot to send it back to you guys. It's my fault. The one thing you did get was the request. John Weschler is the chairman of the Tree Commission, and he would like to apply to the Frost Foundation for $10,000, a $10,000 grant to hire a landscape designer for the Legion Crystal Lake Park down there. The idea is to beautify the area, like the stream going up to the dam, from the road going up to the dam, clean that out, and maybe put a trail in there. And John and I went to the town rec meeting last week and presented this to them, and they were agreeable to this, because the idea is to have the town rec committee take this over, the park, for possible recreation purposes in the future. This park was used by the rec department in the past, before the pool was put down here at the library. This is actually where I learned how to swim. There was actually a beach there, up there on Crystal Lake at one time, and there was a diving board there, and we took swimming lessons there. And John Weschler, back in the 1970s, was head of the rec department. He'd like to kind of see, he has a vision of getting this back to being used by the public. So he has an application all filled out, and the village would have to be the applicant to the Frost Foundation. And the Frost Foundation would give us the money if they so award us the money. And we would hire a landscape designer. So I need permission from the board.
do you want to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we allow John Weschler to apply for a $10,000 grant from the Frost Foundation to hire a landscape designer.
second,
Any discussion?
yeah. What is the real name of it? Is it Legion Park, or is it Crystal Lake Park? What is it?
He's trying to get to the bottom of this with the Historic Society. I don't know if you know anything about this. Ms. Hatch, no, okay. Michael Frazier and John Weschler have this vision also. Michael Frazier's in the Rhinebeck Historical Society, and they're trying to figure out the real name of that park. I know the Legion band used to have concerts down there.
I believe it's the Legion Park because the Legion donated the piece of property there. That's my understanding.
So it's being managed by the town?
No.
Managed by the
It's
village.
maintained by the village, but the idea is
Yeah.
if we do this work and fix it up and make it nice, maybe have some boats there or something in the future, and the town recreation department could somehow manage the operation of it.
And they could run some programming there.
Yeah.
As part of it.
So the $10,000 is strictly for designer?
Yeah, to hire a designer. We don't know if we need $10,000, or Meg Crawford kind of suggested.
Is there going to be a request by whoever gives that money for us foundation to have it implemented in a certain time frame? And where would that money come from?
I don't know about that. You mean if they award us the money, are they going to request we get this?
To give us a time frame to have this design implemented. I mean, just having a design is, it's a piece of paper. But I'm sure if they give you $10,000 or something thereabouts.
Isn't that what happened with the Thompson Mazzarella? They had to use it, or
Well, it was because of the county matching funds, right?
Yeah, that was something else.
Oh.
Yeah. Obviously, if they request that, we would get this done in a timely manner. And
So would you go out for another foundation to get money to implement a design, or would you
Well,
go back
the
here?
idea is to have the highway department do
A lot of the work.
a lot of the work down there.
Right.
You know, maybe the trail would have to be designed, or specifications would be made up by this planner to make the trails, and the highway department would.
Volunteers, maybe?
Yeah, we're not looking to,
Just material you probably would have to buy.
Yeah, we're not
Not services.
And we
Right.
have to be down in there with machines to meet the FEMA mitigation
well,
there as well, so.
well, first we do the FEMA mitigation first.
Yeah, no, I'm
you know,
saying we
then-
have to
Yeah.
get down in there anyway to
Right.
get some, clear some stuff to make
Right.
it happen.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is that a majority of the work would be done in-house.
In-house, yeah, we're not looking to spend a lot of money down there. It's just mainly cleaning up the area. Making a little trail along the side there, putting some park benches there.
Okay.
I mean, they're well aware that we don't have a lot
To give,
to give.
Right.
Who, yeah, and the tree commission's
The
not
tree
actually,
commission.
they're not actually in charge of this. This is just an idea that some tree commission members had.
well, no, but
Someone's
the
gotta
question
take
is
that
once,
on,
I'm sorry.
Someone's
The
gotta-
question is, once
sorry.
they have
A plan.
the plan, and they pay, the Frost Foundation, whoever pays for the plan, I'm sure they want to see this implemented.
Well, there'd have to be some kind of committee formed
Okay,
to implement the plan.
but whatever, but the majority of the work would be done in-house.
Yes.
Except materials and trees
Well,
and
and
shrubs.
volunteers, I
and
think there's been some volunteers.
Yeah, there's been a lot of
that
volunteer
work
work
Yeah,
down
but
there.
down the
you
street.
need soil, you need,
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, maybe wood chips, whatever.
Give them a deal on mulch.
Yeah, we have the mulch in-house.
So you gotta vote.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. Anything?
Okay, so there was only one other thing really here about the trees. Mr. Fennell put an application in to take 3 trees down, and the commission recommends to the village board that this work be done. He has 2 dead trees that are on Locust Grove, and 1 tree is leaning pretty far over. And he put an application to take these trees down. So I'd like to make a motion that we take these trees down.
I'll second the motion. Discussion.
Where's the money come from?
Well, I'm gonna take it from the storm drain line.
Oh,
We set aside $40,000 there.
yeah, but we also have a big
You
project.
sure that it wasn't the East Chestnut project?
Over there.
I thought that's what that was for.
It might have been, but I don't know if.
Because we had a blind for the revenue from chips, and we found out we can't get chips.
Can't.
Right, we can't use CHIPS money
So
for
it's
that.
really not there. I mean, that,
We made a big, had a big discussion and promised people that we would do this.
I think the easiest, if we want to talk about that now, the easiest thing over there to do would be to make that a ditch again, and just see how it works. That could be done in-house also.
Yeah, but we have to also repair the street and the drainage
to-
under the street.
under the street.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call chips to make sure we can't get money for that part.
How much are we talking about here for this tree removal?
It'd probably be around $3,000.
When we get the estimates and bring it to the table.
What
Next
about
one.
sidewalks? Did we spend any money on sidewalks this year? We had 6 or 7 grand.
Yeah, we have money in sidewalks too.
That one piece that's west of the bagel shop, that's the only thing we did, right? Did we have to pay, did the landlord do all that, or did we have to contribute some of it?
We contributed some money there.
Do you want to get the,
I'll get the estimates, yeah.
So, do you want to,
So we can talk about it at our next meeting.
so we had a motion and a second. Do we
You gonna table it?
table it
Table it.
until
Okay.
next time?
Well,
Okay.
we could do it on the 25th.
Yeah,
Yeah, if
afterwards.
we got the estimates then. we-
okay.
Okay. All right, is that it for tree commission now?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Website?
Who's in charge of this? You?
Well, I don't know if I'm in charge of the website, but I have been
The mayor, I'm
working
talking about the mayor.
over the last week with all the departments for updates.
Oh, sorry.
'Cause-
That's all right.
What's that?
Sorry. Grab my pen.
Oh, because a lot of the tabs are out of date, so I'm collecting all the information
I was
from
wondering why it's a different color.
each department so the tabs can be
Why don't we defer it
updated.
until the
What's
next-
that?
Why don't we defer it until we know who's in charge of it now?
Oh, the website?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll take it for the moment since, so if you check back in, by our next meeting, we should have an up-to-date,
I'll look at my page.
Website.
Is there a page, there's a page for every department?
yeah, there's one for wastewater and water.
Not that I
shared.
haven't seen it before, I'm just saying.
And now-
Water, wastewater are together.
Yeah, and they seem pretty accurate. The biggest corrections were probably in the fire department and the street department. They were a little bit off.
Yeah.
But we're tracking all the corrections. Should be good to go. Other business?
Let me go back to this drainage thing here on East
Yes,
Chestnut.
sir.
What I plan to do is ask the homeowners that, right now, there's an underground pipe in the ground between Chestnut Street and Star Drive. That's the name of that road, right? Yeah.
Yes.
There's three of them there. There's three pipes.
Yeah, there's pipes underground, but in the past, it was an open ditch, and it seemed to work okay, maybe 15 years ago. So I'd like to go back to the open ditch, but I would go to the homeowners and ask them their permission to get their opinion on that.
I
before-
spoke to one of them and they didn't like the idea, but,
Yeah. That was a while ago, though, right?
yeah, if we, give it to them as, this is really important, it's gotta be done, the flooding and all this,
Right,
maybe they
right.
would.
Because it's an open ditch,
Yeah.
as it comes to that spot, and it flows pretty well there.
I did some research on that some time ago, and what I found was that when that open ditch was, the reason they put pipes in there is because people complained about it, they were worried about the children and so on, I don't know why, because there's an open ditch right in back
Right,
of
across
Yeah, there's
the
one
street
right,
of the
yeah, on
street
both
for
sides
it,
of the
you know.
street, it's open ditch.
So that's when I put the pipes in, but.
Yeah.
I mean, I can personally tell you, I played on that property
You
when
did?
I was a kid, and it was dry most of the time. We had a hurricane, I believe, in '86, and it rose up a little bit, but other than that, it seemed to
It
do the
did never
job.
flooded your grandfather's house?
I don't remember his garage ever getting flooded.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, that's the test, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I would like to do, go there and talk to some of the homeowners along the pipe there.
I do have, one thing, we had put out a bid for the surplus equipment, and in the advertisement that went in the paper, the deadline was inadvertently omitted. So just for the record, it is 4 PM on February 17th, and I believe Pat will be issuing a new public notice that will have the date on it, but anyone that has called, we are reminding them
Have we got
of that
any
date.
calls?
I've already started receiving some.
What about the motors?
No.
I know Joel mentioned it, but we did get a notice on a resolution passed by the county legislature regarding the power lines. They voted against it, anything that would affect any of the residents in Dutchess County, so
We don't have to do anything.
just about that. No, we don't have to do anything, I just figured I'd mention it since they sent it to us. Correspondence. I have a note here from Mrs. Aldrich's class. Anyone know what school that's from? No?
No.
The sign,
What's that?
the sign.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you, okay. Want to go back to that? Well, let me finish this up quick and then we'll go there. So they're thanking us for our website. They got some good information on emergency and disaster preparedness. We have another note from Mr. Tillerday at the bank regarding the musicians on the corner of Market Street there. I think we all saw this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the question is, what are we going to do about it, if anything? Now, we have a law that would tell us let us tell them to
I
get a
haven't even
license?
seen it, so I don't know what.
I just don't think it's
It's a peddler law,
they're
and
not peddler.
they're buskers,
solicitors.
right? They're buskers, is that the?
Yeah,
Buskers, yeah.
Which,
So we do not have a busker law? Yeah, so. So we're not, no action on that.
I'm not interested in taking any action.
Okay. I just will note, we got a letter from Time Warner, basically.
Excuse me.
Yes.
This is the second letter we got on the same subject from the same people.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, Rich is looking it up, right?
Yeah, he's gonna check it out. So we did get a letter from Time Warner basically telling us about rate adjustments across the board, so everybody's bill from Time Warner will be going up. I got this handwritten note, don't know who it's from, but alerting us to, I don't know if anyone knows, John Flowers must be a radio.
I know him.
You do, radio personality on WHVW 950 AM. Anyway, he has a Christmas in February event for the veterans at Castle Point, and they're inviting us, or anyone out there who wants to go participate. If you want any details, I guess you're going to have to go to the John Flowers events on Facebook. And I think that's it for,
Did you guys read this proposed resolution, symbolic resolution?
I was looking for that, I have the sample
Karen
resolution
Laylor?
right here.
Oh, you have
yeah.
the- I
I
got
have the
the-
resolution.
I
but
have the front.
Okay, so,
okay, you got the back, you got the front, so
Yeah.
fill us in.
Let me read it.
that's what I was looking for.
The proposed New York State budget includes a provision that will be disastrous for Dutchess County. The plan would eliminate the corporate income tax on manufacturers for all the state except for counties in the MTA. The MTA includes Dutchess, Orange, Putnam, Rockland, Westchester, Nassau, and Suffolk, as well as the city. The proposal will drive manufacturing jobs out of our communities. The manufacturing business in Dutchess County would pay a 6.5% corporate tax, while a business just across the bridge in Ulster would have no corporate tax at all. Existing businesses will move, while new businesses will not consider Dutchess. The Poughkeepsie, Newburgh, Middletown metro area is only one of two Newark regions to lose private sector jobs. We cannot afford this plan. In 2013, we cannot afford this plan. We need to stop this misguided plan. I'm asking that your village trustees pass a certified resolution calling on Albany to drop this plan and instead cut the corporate tax for manufacturers across New York State, not just unique to those MTA counties. We need to stop this proposal in its tracks. I hope you will join me. A sample resolution is attached. Please put the resolution on your board's agenda as soon as possible. We don't have time to waste. This proposal will be included in the state budget scheduled to be introduced this week. Oh, okay, well, it was January 20th. This is a February meeting, but we need to work together across the region to stop this tax shift.
Is
It
it
goes
too
on
late?
and on. Kieran Laylor,
Is it too late?
No, I don't think it's too late.
I don't know if it, I doubt it.
Okay, so why don't we pass a resolution?
Do you want to read the resolution?
You want me to read the resolution?
Yeah.
This is a sample resolution that he gave us. Whereas the proposed 2014-15 New York State budget includes a provision that would eliminate the corporate income tax on manufacturers for all of the state except for counties in the MTA region, including Dutchess County. Whereas this proposal will drive manufacturing jobs out of our communities. A manufacturing business in Dutchess County would pay a 6.5 corporate tax, while a business in Ulster or Columbia County would have no corporate tax. Whereas the Poughkeepsie, Newburgh, Middletown metro area is one of only two New York regions to lose private sector jobs in 2013. Whereas proposals to split New York State into separate tax zones are divisive and pit New Yorkers against each other. Now therefore let it be resolved that the town of, or the village of Rhinebeck memorializes the state Senate Assembly and Governor to include all of New York, including the counties in the MTA region, in the elimination of the corporate tax on manufacturers. Copies of this resolution to be forwarded to New York State Senators blank and New York State Assemblyman blank, and Assemblyman Kieran Michael Lawler, District 105. Resolution introduced by
Howard Trout.
Howard Trout, seconded by
Second.
All those in
Brent
favor?
Nicker.
Discussion.
Oh, discussion. Would you like to say
No,
something, Heinz?
no, no.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 So moved.
There you
No,
go.
can I have
don't
a
know,
copy of the
you have to-
resolution?
You have to fill in
You
the,
want to put them together and we'll give Pat
You can have
the
this.
whole thing?
there you go.
All right, Pat. There you
Thank you,
go. Back up to other business. We had a memorandum from John Fenton, the zoning enforcement officer, regarding a sign request from Marilyn Hedge from the Museum of Rhinebeck History. Basically, it's a request to install a sign at the village parking lot. It would be on the west side of it, facing East Market Street. Is that correct? Did you guys get the copy of it?
Is that a Central Hudson pole, or what?
No, it's it would be a.
I haven't seen it.
I didn't get that.
Pat just made
It's in your
copies
folder.
today,
Oh, it's in my folder.
Oh,
Here's my
tonight?
folder here.
so.
It's
Hot off the press.
So basically what it would be is
I emailed them too.
okay, so you get email, you get a full color picture, but it's basically a sign that they want to
Grievance.
put up that would direct you to the historic sites in Rhinebeck,
Oh.
and then a little slot to pull out brochures, if I understand correctly. The issue being that I believe that it exceeds the sign size limit, because it's 30 by 60 inches. And that's why it was brought to us from John.
So it's a kiosk? I'm not sure exactly where it
Now,
is.
does that have to go,
So where's the
I'm
planning
asking
board?
where-
In front of the municipal
yeah, that's what
parking
I'm
lot.
asking, does it got to go through the planning board?
Yeah,
or-
the CBA, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's on village property, so I mean, they're,
Oh, that's what
We
the,
could,
Yeah.
we can overrule it. I mean, right, it would have the effect of amending the code.
so the rule is 8.0 square feet, and the requested sign is 12.5 square feet.
So why can't they shrink it?
Shrink the sign?
Yeah.
I mean, how long is it supposed to stay there?
What's that?
Is this a permanent sign?
Yeah, it's a permanent sign, right?
Yes.
So why couldn't it be shrunk a little bit to conform? I mean, it looks like there's a lot of empty space on here.
I think why you feel there's empty space is because there's long distance between each site, and you don't.
Right.
Oh, Maren, can you come up to the mic for us so they can catch you on the camera? Thank you.
We don't want to give the impression that they're all right next to each other. So, starting at the Quitman House, where the Museum of Rhinebeck History is located, and then the Palatine Farmstead, coming on down into the village, the Montgomery House, and the historic village district, and then showing Mill Road to go down to Wilderstein. I'm sure that we could maybe a couple inches, but I think we're still going to exceed the
Square footage.
8 square foot.
So I notice there's a note there that says it has a copper roof. Is it?
Yes, it will deflect the rain from the sign and give it a nice appearance.
So the rest of it's just going to be lumber that holding up the roof, or
Pardon?
it's going to be lumber, like pressure treated lumber or something, the two uprights on it?
Right,
Okay.
right,
It's
right.
2.5.
I'm sorry, what is the code, to your knowledge?
I can't hear you.
What is the code that would be permitted? You're saying that there's a permitted amount that you're exceeding, or,
Oh, 8 feet,
In
8
square-
square feet.
and this is about, what, 12 and a half?
12 and a half.
Right.
Yep.
So it's actually,
It's 20% bigger.
mhm.
So the question is, you can't shrink it 20%?
Well, then, if you did, you wouldn't be able to see that little map.
Well, no,
that's-
but you can shrink, yeah, the little map, you don't want to shrink.
Right.
What you could shrink, is these long distances of Route 9 and 9G and so on. And it doesn't really have to be exactly to scale, it's just schematically correct.
It's not to scale anyhow, right
Yeah,
now
no, I
it's
know,
not.
but it
Right.
just has to be, schematically correct.
Right.
What's the height of it, Marilyn?
30 inches.
Oh, no, that's just a sign, but it's built
Right.
up on the upright.
It needs to be eye level, so that when people are walking down the street or coming out of the parking lot, it's eye level. We've really pondered as to where would be the best place for this sign, and we've looked at different sites. And this is very advantageous. It's next to the bench that's right across the street, and there's a little area that's taken care of by the garden club, and there's greenery behind it, which makes it a very attractive area for this sign. And that sign just fits there nicely. I can go back and ask Duchess Sign if they can cut a few inches off here and there, but I still think we're going to exceed the 8 square feet.
See, Marilyn, what I see here is just, the sign is one thing, but then it's the blocks to hold it, or the posts to hold it, and the height and so on, so that's gonna be quite big by the time it's all done. Have you made a mock-up of this thing and see what it would look like and when it sits there finally? I mean,
Other than that mock-up there,
Yeah. No, a mock-up, a cardboard mock-up or so, because this can get huge, you know, you have a roof on there, copper roof, and I'm sure it's gonna be very nice and so on, but,
It gets expensive though, I mean.
no, I'm talking about a cardboard, you know, just to see to get a sense of
Oh, I
of
see
the
what you
size, you know.
It's probably gonna be 7, 8 feet tall when it's
Yeah,
done, I would
yeah.
think, with the.
Can we send this to the planning board and just request their advisory opinion?
Well, I mean, you can request an advisory opinion. It seems as though the zoning officer may have ruled that it's exempt if it's going on the village property. I don't know, it's the first time I've seen it tonight.
We can still ask them that, right?
We went through them for the police station.
Yeah, because I would be worried about the visual impact of this, you know. When you want it, on one hand, you want it to be seen, but you don't want it to have, you know, be humongous either.
I can get a piece of cardboard and I can cut it out and parade it in front of you, but,
No,
Yeah.
you know, I don't mean exactly that. I mean, we can go and look at it, but
uh-huh.
it somehow has to fit into the, into the space.
It does fit in that space that we have over there.
Yeah, that's
Because
what I
I've measured it out.
I mean, maybe if you had some dimensions on it or something so you could figure out
Figure it
how.
out.
The
yeah.
sign area is 30 inches by 60 inches.
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
But the center of the sign's gonna be at roughly.
I don't think it's bigger than this table right here.
No, but it's gonna be high.
It's higher.
It's gonna be high,
If this
Yeah.
is,
you know.
if this is 30 inches, then this is, you know,
So you have to add, there's a 4-inch post on either side.
right.
So,
Well, and then you have an overhang a little bit, you know.
mhm.
You wanna table it, you wanna
I think I would
make a
like
motion, do you wanna?
I'd like to see, you know, what it actually looks like, or pretty close to what it looks like.
I'd like to see if the planning board would want to look at it, because we're not really accustomed to doing this.
Right.
Do you wanna make that motion?
Right, I'll make a motion that we ask the planning board
Okay.
to give us their opinion on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Second.
Is there a second?
I'm assuming this isn't time sensitive for you, it's a snow and, you know,
I-
snowy and icy, so you're probably not, we have some time here to,
I'd like to see it go in the spring
Yeah.
if possible.
Okay. Any,
I second
right, any further discussion?
Yeah, but in the meantime, maybe we can get a piece of cardboard and see how big it is, and, you know, just to give us a little.
Unfortunately, we don't have Hobsons anymore.
I know.
it. Well, I think when
Refrigerator box.
once the planning board gets us some idea and then how they
Okay.
feel about it, that'll help sway the opinions.
I'm sure that Duchess Sign will help me create something that,
I just want you to know, we're not against this.
Okay.
Yeah, we think it's a good idea.
Yeah, that, you know, we
Yeah.
just want to see what the visual impact of this is.
Okay.
How big it, you know, how
Right.
massive it's going to be.
Actually, we should have a cutout and put it over there so that
Yeah.
you can visually see it
See it, right.
in the area
Right.
and where we think it would be best serve us. It's you know, we have some wonderful historic sites here.
Yeah.
Wilderstein is well advertised, and people know about Wilderstein. They know about Montgomery Place and the other sites along the river. But what we want to do is bring attention to these fine places that we have.
I'm with you.
So we got a motion on the table. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So it goes to the planning
So
board.
moved.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll send it to the planning
For
board.
an advice,
Pardon?
for advice.
For their
For
advice.
advice. Yes, right. And I figured that's what you would have to do.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I'll try to have Duchess Sign help me create something,
Markup.
a mock-up. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Marilyn.
Thank you.
We already got the correspondence out of the way. How about the water and sewer adjustments?
Okay. We had 4 new owners and had 6 new final bills. All of them, the new owners is a $25 fee, and the final bills, you know, depending on what the residue was on after the reading. We had one item village owned. We gave a debit of $75 because we, you know, essentially we didn't charge this. What was it? Village owned $75. Was that?
The police station.
Police station, okay. We built a client $1,770 for service reimbursement on Montgomery Street, and we billed another client $996 for service reimbursement. This is work that was in excess of the $1,000 tapping fee. In one case, we had to open up quite a bit of Montgomery Street and to feed lines from one side of the street to the other street. We had another $25 we had a broken bottom of one of the water meters, and that is it. Do you have yours?
I've got 2 new owners and 2 corresponding final adjustments. We have a $3,443.98 adjustment to reflect historic sewer rate. We had a big bill from the Delamater that, it's a long story, but we tried to bring the cost down because they owe a backlog of wastewater bills, and not that they were delinquent or anything, so we had to age it to reflect historic rates going back years. So we also have an adjustment to remove the penalty, which is, I guess, automatically on there, of $2,272.19 also. So that's it.
Do we have a motion to approve the adjustments?
Make a motion to approve the adjustment. Second?
Second.
Okay. You made a motion?
I was asking
He
if
was
we had.
asking you to make the
No,
motion.
I made a motion, okay.
Okay. Howie, second.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
I have it on there.
What do we have for minutes approval on there? Which one to?
The February 3rd executive session.
Did anyone have a chance to look at
Did I
it?
have a chance to look at it?
What's that?
Did anybody see
There was
it?
one thing in there that, I don't know if it's been fixed, it said that Heath would go into the next election year, his term. Is that the one?
I'm looking.
I just saw one question about it, but I don't know that it was addressed. Do you want to table it?
Do you want me to look at it?
Yeah. See,
It might be
pick-
fixed already, so then I wouldn't need to table it.
Do you want to talk about this here? This is fiscal stress. came out from the New York State Office of the State Controller, shows that the village of Rhinebeck has one of the lowest stress factors.
I'd like to talk about it. I'll look at it more before I talk to it, so.
Yeah, it's been fixed, so.
It's been fixed?
It's essentially good news.
Okay. So do we have a motion to,
I make a motion to accept the minutes of February 3rd, the executive session.
Second.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. So Heinz was kind enough to print this off here from the Comptroller's Office, New York State Comptroller's Office. It's a study on fiscal stress. Shows the Rhinebeck, Village of Rhinebeck at 8.3%, with villages across the state being at 40%, and regional villages being about 25%, and downstate, medium downstate villages being closer to 30%. So seems like we're doing all right at a fiscal stress level of 8.3% for the village. Thank you, Heinz, for bringing the good news.
I think that a lot of that hinges on the reserve that we have, right, Heinz? Because I kind of read the report quickly.
Yeah.
So it's important to keep a good reserve, yeah.
Next line item is the budget for 2014-15. The notices went out to all the department heads to have their projected budgets in by March 1st. So that'll be our, when we can start getting together as a group to look at it. So how about March 1st for a date for our first workshop?
Well, we have a 25th
Yep.
and a 26th.
Yep.
And did we want to do something about the code, Brand?
About what?
The code.
Which one? Oh, that's gonna take a long time.
That takes a long time.
Yeah.
That's another committee or workshop to get,
Yeah, it's got it,
put
yeah.
those all together.
That's Saturday though. Do I have to-
Is it?
March 1st is a Saturday.
Well, how about March 3rd? Monday?
Yeah, it's okay with me.
So we should have it that prior week. March 3rd, 6 o'clock?
Wait a minute.
We're going to start
So
with,
we went through ours and there's coding issues. Some things, expenses aren't coded to the right line. So just so you, last year what I did is they can print out, Chrissy can print out the line if you have some confusion, and it'll have all the things for that year in that line, and then you can pick them out and then put them, work with her to put them back in the right line. So
Okay.
I'm planning on doing that before I go in front of you guys, you know, with the,
Yeah, let's try to have a pretty solid,
yeah, so we're not puzzled over these things.
yeah. Work through everything we can between now and March 1st and be ready to go.
March 3rd, right?
March 3rd.
Yeah, well, it's due on March 1st, but we'll meet and talk about it on March
March 3rd.
3rd.
And here's a
so.
miscellaneous question. We were wondering, do we have a service that cleans uniforms? That cleans,
Yeah.
from what I understand, this contract is just automatically renewed, like from year to year. And maybe to go with our procurement policy, we should go out for RFP on this if it's, you know, and kind of refresh it just for controls. Do you know you have any idea what the term of the?
I remember when we went out to bid for it years ago, and we had other
How
uniform
long do you think
companies.
it's been?
8 years,
We should probably
6
do-
years.
Maybe after the budget season, you know.
so
Do that again.
is this just the wastewater department has?
No,
No, the water department.
And the water
Everybody has them.
everyone.
How about
Not the
police
highway department.
They're on their own?
Yeah.
Police?
They're on
Right.
their own, they get paid for a uniform allowance.
Oh, it doesn't get cleaned?
No, they
They do, okay.
take care of it themselves.
And
Right.
we pay for a portion of it in our budget. You probably pay for a portion of it in your budget.
What, the uniforms?
Yeah.
We get each department gets a separate bill from the uniform company,
Right.
and that comes out of your departments. Water gets divided by the distribution and by the plant, and the same thing with wastewater, because you have 4 employees, so part of it comes out of both of those 2 line items.
Okay, do you think the total's over $35,000 a year?
No,
So we can probably do an RFP then?
Under the
Just get 3
procurement
bids?
policy.
Or,
no, it's maybe $200 each, so that's 600 times 12.
7,200 bucks.
Yeah.
All right,
So
that's it.
so,
Did we do anything on the building inspector? Did we vote on that?
We made John Fenton.
yeah, we made the appointment on the
Or
3rd,
interim.
yeah.
For how many hours did we?
About 5? He said
About
he
5
could
hours,
add
yeah.
about 5.
was there a salary on that?
$22.
$22.
And that was all done last time on the 3rd.
Yeah.
I just have to notify payroll.
Oh, okay. Anything else?
Well, Lisa was looking into the phone systems that we have, because we have Frontier and Time Warner and Superior, and we were looking into trying to do one thing with everything. I don't know if you saw anything on that, Pat. I think she has a folder on it someplace.
Okay. I know we're looking to have, in fact, Superior, we're looking to have a jack or a phone in here for court so that they can have my brain. They need it during court, so for an interpreter during court. So
Can't
Frontier
they use
told
that
us.
phone?
No, because they need to have a special phone, so it has a speaker system or something for the
Oh,
court.
okay.
So we have Superior do that because Frontier said that they don't provide service to here. Time Warner has nothing to do with our phone system here. It's all Superior.
Right, but I mean, like the monthly bills we pay
Oh, there's,
Frontier and Time Warner, when these companies have different, and internet service too, right?
right.
I mean, we're gonna look into a package with one of them.
I would want to check with our IT department to see about going to a different carrier for our internet, because right now we have a pretty stable internet, without it going out or anything.
Who's
Where-
it through now?
It's with Time Warner, because, and the same thing with the telephone. I wouldn't want to have anything happen where, if we lost power, even though we have a generator, but if we lost power, it's worth looking into and having.
Cable faster than DSL here?
Supposedly.
Is it?
It can be faster,
question.
but it costs more money to have it faster.
Well, maybe we could look and get a proposal from both of them to give us a across-the-board package,
Okay,
just like at home, we get the triple play.
Yeah, triple play.
triple play.
Yeah.
Good deal for
So
you
Time
there.
Warner, Frontier,
Well,
I think they're
Frontier
like two.
is with Dish Network.
so we don't,
Frontier's the,
well, I'll look into all the
probably the
communication
only one you
things.
can
and-
get here. for-
Yeah, they would have
That's
phone
what
and
we
and
have.
DSL,
Yeah, we have DSL with Frontier.
Yeah. Right, right.
but Time
okay.
Warner can give you the phone and
Yeah.
it'll be a modem phone. Anything else?
Unless they have fiber to the.
Yeah, Fios, yeah.
We're waiting for Verizon to get up here, right?
Yeah, let's hold our breath.
Yeah.
We got a motion to go to executive session?
I'd like
Do we have
to-
anything else?
Do we have anything else? No, I think we're finished, right?
Okay.
Who
I'd
made
like,
the motion?
what? I'd like to make a motion to go to executive session.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved.
I'd like to
Is there a motion?
make a motion to come out of executive session.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Meeting adjourned.